Doesn't matter who says what, you'll always know who you are. We've tried that, doesn't work. Take away communication and things fall apart. Right, everybody, so we're on session number 3 and we're talking about needs today. All right, first of all, I just want to, I've got a slide there, the difference between men and women. It says we are not broken, we're just different. So many people think there's something wrong with their husband or something wrong with their wife. There's nothing wrong, we're just different. All right, let's look at a couple of things. All right, let's see. Number one, women. Now, man, this took me a lot of time. I think 10 years to realize. But anyway, it really helped when I actually realized that if she talks about a problem in her life, she just wants you to listen. Now, that's difficult for men because man only talks about a problem because he needs a solution. When I phone a friend, and I've got a problem, the only reason why I'm phoning him is because I want to answer. Women, on the other hand, they just want to talk. All right, so then obviously you must, sometimes if you don't say something, they say, but why aren't you saying anything? So I would suggest always when your wife comes to you with a problem, just ask her, lovey, or do you just want to share with me, or do you want an answer on the problem? So it's not weird. They just love giving a problem without wanting an answer. They just want you to listen. All right, this next one is she de-stresses by talking, and I think that explains exactly why she just loves you to listen. That's her way how she de-stresses. Now the problem on the other hand is he de-stresses with sex. So when things are not going that well and you see the guy stressing, and then you think by yourself, man, at a time like this you thinking about sex, what's wrong with you? That's how he de-stresses. So next time when you see he's stressed, you know what to do. All right. Then women talks emotions. Women like to talk emotionally about something. That is the way they function. And men obviously likes to talk facts. What she's saying is not what she is saying. Now that's a very interesting thing. All right. Women tend to say something, but they actually mean something else. Let me give you a short explanation. So the wife is driving the vehicle, going to the mall, and she asks the husband, where do you want me to park? And he thinks, where do you want me to park? Why would you ask that? All right. She's not really asking, where do you want me to park? What she's saying actually is, this morning when I went to jog with my friends, you said, I can go, you will wash the dishes. Because I wanted you to wash the dishes. You said, no, lovey, leave the dishes, I'll do it. When I got back, the dishes wasn't done. So it feels to me like you're not thinking of me, you're only thinking of yourself. So obviously you are more important, so where do you want me to park? All right, so there's something behind whatever they say. Now women, listen carefully. Men is saying what they're saying. They don't mean something else. And normally, a woman think a man means something else. For instance, lovey, do you want to go and jog with me? Are you saying I'm fat? No, lovey, no, that's not what I mean. Oh, so you say I can't listen, I'm deaf. No, lovey, that's not what I'm saying. You don't understand me. Oh, so now I'm stupid too. No, lovey, you know what, lovey, I'll go and jog on my own. Yes, go and jog on your own. You always do things on your own. All right. So what he's saying, go and jog with me, is just that. Do you want to jog with me? He's not saying anything else. All right. Then the next thing. If she asks a question doesn't mean she haven't got the answer. It's a test. All right. So your wife asks you, Lovey, what time do you think we must leave for whatever? 3 o'clock? No, we can't drive 3 o'clock. How can we drive 3 o'clock? That's going to be too late. We must drive earlier. All right, 2 o'clock? No, man, that's too early. No. Better answer is, Lovey, what time do you think we should leave? All right. Sometimes they got the answer. They're just testing if you got the answer. All right. Now, women, if men ask a question, they don't have the answer. All right. For instance, they really want an answer. Lovey, where's the salt? Where we always put the salt? Okay, where do we always put the salt? Your husband doesn't know where it is. All right. I know you think, but it's obviously you should know where it is. No, he doesn't. When he asks the question, he really, really doesn't know. All right. Then she thinks of food. And guess what? He thinks of sex and food. All right. She falls in love with the ears. That's why women love conversation. And men falls in love with his eye. We are visual people. So the better you look, the more he's going to look at you. It's just how men are. We're visual. So that's the first thing. We check a girl out. So that's how men are. All right. So we're not broken. We're just different. All right. Let's recap quickly. The first session we said, to change your marriage, you must change your thinking. Right, nothing's going to change if nothing changes. And then the very first thing I tried to change your thinking was, I need a wife or husband? No, I need to be a wife or husband. All right, focusing on who you must be, not what you want. All right, then we said, work smart, not hard. So we are talking today, we are talking about that, and it's about emotional needs. All right. So, like I said last time, a vehicle doesn't want fuel, it needs fuel. If a vehicle doesn't have fuel, it's not a vehicle. Well, it's still a vehicle, but it can't be used as a vehicle. It's not functionality. Being a vehicle without fuel, it's just nothing. All right. Excellent place for the kids to play, but that's it. Nothing's going to happen there. All right, the biggest problem I've seen is, like I said, don't work hard, work smart, is that we tend to give the other person what we need. Okay, so this wife decided this morning she's going to bring her husband breakfast in bed. Last night they had a quarrel, so she would just want to make things up, and she decides she's going to make him a nice breakfast and bring the breakfast out. Now the breakfast is taking anything between a half an hour to an hour to make a nice breakfast for him, take it for him in bed. As she's going to the room with his breakfast, she realizes, you know what? That's actually what I would have wanted, what he would have wanted, and it would have been much easier. I would just get naked in bed. That's it. That'll would have done it for him. So you'll see the picture I've got there. I've got a plant that's being watered by water, and then the cell phone that's got electricity. All right, that plant's going to die if it doesn't have water. It doesn't want water, it needs water. The cell phone is plugged in there. It doesn't want electricity, it needs electricity. It's not going to work. It's not going to keep on functioning without electricity. The problem is we can't give the plant electricity and we can't give the phone water. So if you do that, you're going to work very hard, but nothing's going to happen. That's why sometimes we feel like we're putting in all this effort, but the other one is just not appreciating. The other one just still doesn't feel loved. You're telling me you don't feel loved, but I'm doing this. You're doing all the wrong things, or you're not doing the most important things, all right? And they still feel unloved. So this is what it is about today. I'm going to give you a couple of emotional needs, and please, I'm going to say some of these needs. I'm going to say it's most of the time it's a woman's needs, and some of them I'm going to say most of the time it's a man's needs. But very important, it could be exactly the other way around. All right. So we can say, for instance, yes, a man needs sex, but sometimes it's the other way around. Then the woman needs sex. So there's nothing wrong with you if it's absolutely the opposite. It's okay. And if I say, for instance, this specific need is more, most of the time it's women's needs, and you think, no man, this man's crazy, that's not my need at all. I'm a woman, that's not my need. It's okay. It's okay. It's fine. We all have different needs. So just focus on the different needs. And yeah, we're going to start with the very first one. We got a picture there of a guy hugging the prince there. And yes, you can see in that face of that old man, it's just something that he really, really, really needed. It's just something he's been dreaming about, thinking about, whatever. And yeah, that's affection, right? So affection is the expression of caring love. Hugs, holding hands, flowers, walks, coffee dates, phone calls, I love you messages, back or foot rubs. And then Genesis 3 verse 16, your desire will be for your husband. That is one of the things God said to the wife, because they'll always need that. Any woman would always need affection. They can't function without affection. Most of the time, that is women's number one need, affection. All right. It is saying, I care about you. You are important to me. I'm concerned about your problems. I don't want anything to happen to you. It's saying, most of all, it is saying, I love you. And then very important there at the bottom, remember that. If it is done with sexual motive, it's not affection. Lovey, I'll give you a back rub just to have sex. No, that's not going to make them feel loved. The next picture, it says, it's all about the effort. You don't have to buy your wife expensive flowers, but picking something somewhere and bringing it to her, it's all about the effort. It's about the thought for them. All right. So, we are moving to the next one, sexual fulfillment. Now, this is, it's normally the place where we see, it's the first sign when marriages are falling apart, is in the bedroom. As soon as things starts going wrong there, man, your relationship is in trouble. Find help. That's the first place where things start falling apart. All right, let's look at it. It says, when you married, both promises to be faithful. You agree to be each other's only sexual partner. You trust each other to meet your sexual needs. That is to be available and responsive. The need for sex then is a very exclusive need. It's not something that you can get somewhere else. You promise to somebody, I will only fulfill my sexual need by you. You will be the only person. So man, they are so dependent on you, so dependent on you. So the need for sex then is a very exclusive need. You will be very dependent on your spouse to meet it for you. Let's look what the Bible says about sex. 1 Corinthians 7 verse 3 to 5. The husband should fulfill his wife's sexual needs. All right. If the wife in the relationship is the one that needs sex, there's your answer. The husband should fulfill his wife's sexual needs, and the wife should fulfill her husband's sexual needs. The wife gives authority over her body to her husband. Your body isn't your body anymore. If you want your body to be your body, don't get married. All right. And the husband gives authority over his body to his wife. You can't do with your body what you want to. You can't eat what you want to. If your wife says, Lovey, you need to drop a few pounds, a couple of kilograms, you have to look after that body. It's not yours anymore. All right, then, do not deprive verse 5, do not deprive each other of sexual relations unless you both agree to refrain from sexual intimacy for a limited time so that you can give yourselves more completely to prayer. Then, listen carefully. Afterwards, you should, sorry, I'm just thinking about, listen carefully now. Afterward, you should come together again, and so that Satan wouldn't be able to tempt you because of your lack of self-control. Now, the number one lie that the enemy tells the one that wants less sex in the relationship, the number one lie is, you look at that picture, that's quite a lengthy drill that. All right, it says, he's just using me or she's just using you. That's a lie. The truth is, he or she needs you. They need you. They're not using you. They need you. You're the only place that they can fulfill that desire, that need. And it's a need. It's not a want. A man doesn't want sex. He needs sex. Or the wife then in that case. They don't want it. They need it. And they need you. They're not using you. They need you. You're the only place that they can go to. Nowhere else. Nowhere else. All right. That's a lie. That's how the enemy just wants to stop you having fun. Sex were made for marriage. You're supposed to have it. You're supposed to have a lot of it. You're supposed to enjoy it. The sexual part of the woman has got a part that's only there for pleasure. Nothing else. No other job. It's just there for pleasure. So, yes, I don't think God would have put it if it wasn't his plan. All right. Then Proverbs 5, we're looking at the next picture there. It says, let your wife be the fountain of blessing for you. Rejoice in the wife of your youth. 19, she is a loving deer, a graceful doe. And now, let her breast satisfy you always. Always. All right. Man, he's not going to leave those twins. All right. I had to put a picture of twins. So, yeah, I got a picture of twins there. All right. May you always be captivated by her love. All right. The word satisfy that I put in yellow there, in Hebrew it says rovo, and it means to take one's fill, to be drunk, intoxicated, to drench, water, abundantly, saturated, soak. Do you feel, man, your husband doesn't want to leave them alone every time he sees them, he grabs them? Well, the Bible says satisfy. All right, that's what it's about. So, yeah, again, people, sex were made for marriage. It's to be enjoyed. If things aren't going well there, go and see somebody. All right. Then, the next one, intimate conversation. Remember I said, a woman fall in love with their ears. She are likely to fall in love with a man who is an expert at talking to her about her personal feelings, past experience, present activities, and plans for a future. She can't resist him. Listen carefully. You did that to catch her. The other day I was talking to a group of young people, and when I told the one guy, I said, the things that you did to catch your wife, the things that you did to get the girlfriend, you're going to have to do it for the rest of your life. That's how you caught her. That's what made her interesting in you. You can't do it and then stop doing it. You have to do it for the next 80 years if you're alive. You do it forever. All right. So that's the way you caught her. The next slide. How long should we communicate? 15 hours a week. Now you think, man, that's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. No. How many time are you sitting on your phone? How much time do you spend on your phone? How much time do you spend in front of the TV? How much time are you just spending time on things that's not that important? We will find time if we put those aside and make time. Make time. It is better to make time every day. Every day for 10 minutes. It should be more, but it's better to make time every day for 10 minutes than try to squeeze it in once a month or whatever. Make time every day. It says there, study has shown that happy couples make time for intimate conversation every day. Like I said, never stop doing it. It's like sex. They need it every day. All right, now, the next one, no need can be met without it. All right. All these needs that we talk about, we have to communicate about it. You won't be able to meet any of those needs without communication. Then the next one, it is how affairs always start. You don't wake up in the morning and say, and I want to have an affair with another woman. No, that's not what happens. What happens is somebody at work just gives you attention, talks to you, admires you, and at home your wife she's just always angry at you, and now you start talking to this woman and you're getting emotional attached to her, and before you know it, you jump in the bed with her. All right. Communication is how affairs starts. So you never have a friend of the opposite sex when you are married. Remember that. You never have a friend of the opposite sex when you're married. The woman just thinks, oh, this guy's just being nice. He's just waiting for you to fall. He's got plans. All right. You need plain conversation to plan. You need to plan time for intimate conversation. Again, you need plain conversation to plan. Just like in a company, they have meetings. The company has to be run in a specific way. The household as well. The kids need to be picked up, or groceries need to be shopped, or there's plans that you have to have for your day, for your daily tasks. How are you going to do this? What's the plan for this week? You need that first of all. And then obviously, you need to plan time for intimate conversation. It's not just going to happen. It's not just going to randomly. If you think it's just going to happen, how's it working in this stage for you? It's not. You have to make time. The same with sex. If you're going to wait until both are feeling ready for sex, it ain't going to happen. You have to make time for it. It's like schedule it. You think that's weird? No. You have to schedule, make time for sex. But important, you have to make time for conversation. All right, the next one is recreational companionship. Now, if you look at that picture, you might think, man, if me and my husband's going to try that, I'm going to break his back. All right, so I got a next picture, the one that's going to be much easier. Yeah, that's easy. All right, it says there, when dating, recreational compatibility is usually a crucial criterion for men in selecting a wife, and they assume, very important, they assume their bride will become their long-life recreational companion. Your husband doesn't want to fish with other men. He wants to fish with you. He doesn't want to jog with other people. He wants to jog with you. You are his first choice. It's when you're not doing it with him, he needs to go and do it with other people. This one friend of mine, he always said, when I was dating my wife, she used to watch rugby with me every time. Now we're married, she's not watching rugby with me at all. So what is he needs to do? Get his friends to watch rugby with him. So that's what I want to have. First choice is his wife. All right. So the next picture, you see the man and wife catching fish. So most men treasure the time they spend recreational. They plan for it, look forward to it, And they will often spend quite a bit of money making especially enjoyable. Now you think, well, I can't catch fish. Well, then I've got the next picture. He's catching the fish and you just being with him. All right, so we need to engage in recreational activities. That's saying that I want to be your companion. Your husband just doesn't want a wife. He wants more. He wants a wife. He wants a life companion, and he wants somebody that's good in bed. All right, and those shouldn't be three different women. It should be you. All right. Next thing, couples that do Bible study together has a 1% chance of divorce. I'm saying here, couples that do Bible study together has a 1% chance of getting divorced. Spending time together, spending time in the Word. The next slide. Those who pray together stay together. The next picture. Bible. It says, like I said previously, it's the basic instruction before leaving earth. And then the next one. Your mind will always believe everything you tell it. Remember that. Your mind will always believe everything you tell it. So feed it. What are you feeding your mind? Truth. Truth. John 8:32 said, then you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. Feed it love, feed it hope, feed it truth. There's an enemy that always tells you that you're not good enough. There's an enemy that always tells you you won't achieve anything. But there's a truth that says, with God, anything is possible. There's a truth that says, I can do anything. I can do anything through Christ that gives me the power. That's the truth. That's what you need to feed yourself with that information. And doing it together, like I said, you're just destroying the chances of getting divorced. All right. Companionship. The next picture is a lot of single people having a party. All right. That's not your life anymore. You can't live a single life and a married life. Not successfully. Not successfully. I can promise you that. If you choose the day to get married, now life has changed. When you start to go into the relationship, you can't have both worlds. That's selfish. Hey, I want to party alone with my friends and do what? And I want a wife. So she must be ready there at home and always be, I want the wife. Yes, I want. And I want the friends. I want to jowl and be single. So I want to be single and I want a wife. Hey man, that's nice, huh? Doing whatever you want to do, and then still there, somebody must just be ready for you. The kids must be there, the wife must be there. That's selfish, man. That's absolutely selfish. It should change. The next picture. If you have friends, it should be other couples. Like the picture there in your left-hand side. You go and visit other couples, not single people. Not single people visiting you or what. Well, if they do, they come and visit both of you, not just you. You are one now. The Bible says you are one now. And then the picture on your right-hand side, the real friends you should have is your own children. You should be your children's friends and they should be your friends. That is your priority. Because they need to know that you love them and that you accept them. And they need your time. So how on earth, if you're going to have to spend time, conversation with your wife, and spend time with your kids, how are you going to have time for friends? I don't say you mustn't have friends, but they shouldn't be on the top part of your priority. Definitely not on your priority list. Next picture, alcohol. Next picture. You know what? It's selfish. It's thinking about yourself. The next picture. I want you to look at it. Really look at it. That woman is beaten. That car drunk driving. They have done tests and saw that even if a person drinks one beer, it affects their driving. They let them drive, do a course, give them one beer, just one beer, wait 15 minutes and let them do the same course again, and it affects their driving. One beer. Look at that vehicle. And look at that coffin right next to it. You know, in COVID, with the lockdowns and at the end of the year, they said we're not all alcohol shops and everything was closed. We had to be in by 10 o'clock at night. Did you know the biggest hospital in Joburg, the last night, Old Year's Eve, not one person, there wasn't one emergency. Why? There was no alcohol. How many people is laying in hospital, broken? How many people didn't make it to the next day because of alcohol? Who are you pleasing? Anybody? This is what happens to people, the other people? It's selfish, man. It is so selfish. Then you know Solomon said in Ecclesiastes 2 verse 3, I tried cheering myself with wine. Remember in the previous session, he said he did all these things for himself, and this is one of them. He even tried alcohol. Say, well, perhaps this will make me happy, because he was looking for meaning in life. And what did he say in verse 10? Everything was meaningless. Why? Because it's selfish. And then the next slide, remember that one? Your child will follow your example, not your advice. You are creating a next generation. Remember that by your actions. All right, then the next one, honesty and openness. Now, everybody wants their partner to be honest. I mean, there's nobody that doesn't want that, obviously. But it's extremely important to women why they feel secure. It's a natural reaction for a woman to want security. That's natural for her to go with a guy with more money, not just because it's about the money. It's not about the money, it is about the security, knowing that I will be protected. This man is working for himself, or he's earning enough, he will look after me, I'll be safe. It's about that. And honesty makes her feel safe. So it is extremely important to women. So that what I'm saying is, men, don't ever lie to your wife. Don't. Not even white lies. Never ever lie to them. Right. It was a relationship murderer from Adam. That is what the enemy did. He took the truth and he twisted it when he talked to Eve. And he didn't force her eating the fruit. He just used the lie, and she did it herself because she believed the lie or half-truth. Hiding something from your partner will always create a subconscious wall between you. Even if they don't know, they know. There's something in the subconscious. There's something in the air. There's something in the spirit that they feel. There's something, and there is a division between you. You don't know why. There's a blockage. There's something, because something is not being said. He or she is hiding something. It is a killer, lies. And just remember, if your spouse comes to you and shares with you something that they have been hiding, don't punish them for it. If you want them to stay honest and open, when they share something, handle it the right way. Handling it the wrong way is going to make that they will never tell you again. Get help if you don't know how to handle the information you just got. Get help from the right people, but don't mess it up. All right. John 8 verse 44. For you are the children of your father the devil, and you love to do the evil thing he does. He was a murderer from the beginning. He has always hated the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he lies, it is consistent with his character. For he is the liar and the father of lies. When you lie, you open the door for the enemy to destroy your marriage. It's an open door. Right. Then the next picture. Look how cute and cuddly those kittens look. To feel, don't you think they feel secure? To feel secure, we need accurate information about our spouse's thoughts, feelings, habits, likes, dislikes, personal history, daily activities, and plans for the future. If not, the feeling of security can be destroyed. All right. She wants to know about your weakness. She wants to know about your vulnerability. Giving my wife information, preventing that she hears it from others first, made her feel important and loved by me. It was extremely important for my wife to know what's going on in my everyday life, because she felt that she's not part of it. And since I've been doing it consistently, since I've got into a habit of doing it, just telling her everything, it's not important to her anymore. Why did she feel secure? She feels safe. She is not even thinking about it, because I'm doing it, obviously. I'm still doing it. But don't let your wife find out things from other people and not from you. You know how she feels when that happens. All right. Then you create emotional closeness by revealing your most private thoughts and your battles. All right. Battles that you can stop fighting on your own. Many years ago, when I was addicted to pornography, and in 2008, I gave my heart to the Lord and I was freed from that. But the problem with pornography is you don't get rid of the images. It's not like just poop and they're gone. So when I have battles like this, I tell my wife and she prays with me. And it's just 100 times easier because she's part of my battles. So yeah. Share that with your husband. Right, your wife. So the next one, domestic support. Now, that's most of the times it's something men like. And yes, a woman obviously as well. But at the beginning of marriage, neither would identify domestic support as important need, but the bomb is ticking. The next picture. There it is, the baby. All right, we know the moment there's children, life as you know it has changed. That neat little house of yours is going to be in a different state with all the toys and everything just laying around. It's just chaos. All right. There's men that really, they just want you, when they come at home, they just want to see a neat kitchen or a neat house, or just, they don't want to walk into a mess. And if both of you are working, help your spouse. You can't let your wife do all the cooking or the cleaning or the whatever. You have to help her. Both are working by day, just like you're working, she's working. So you can't expect her to do anything by her own. But it's a real need. It's something we don't think that's important. It's a real need. It's not a want. That person really needs a tidy house. They just need it. They need to function. They don't function in chaos. If that's a need, it's a real need. It's not something to just laugh about it, just sweep under the rug. It is important. All right. Then the next one, family commitment. Now again, women love security and they feel secure when you as a husband are committed to your family. All right. The next slide is feeding, clothing, or watch over your children to keep them safe is not family commitment. Feeding, clothing, and watch over them. Listen, these things are important. Don't think they're not important. Yes, they are important, but that's not family commitment. The real family commitment, yes, listen, it should be there. Don't think it shouldn't be there. Real family commitment. Next slide. Spending quality time with your children to help them develop into successful adults. Just read that again. Spending quality time with your children to help them develop into successful adults. That is family commitment. The next slide. Be your children's best friend. I already said that. Be your children's best friend. Let they be your best friends. Our children, they had their friends at school, but they were not that important because me and my wife was always their friends. We did things with them. We made time for them. They had a lot of time for them. And they always felt safe. They always felt safe. You know, the truth is, if your daughter doesn't receive your love, the father's love, she's going to look for it somewhere else. And the only way she's going to get it is by other boys. And you know what young boys want? They want sex. So if she really wants a boy, what she's going to give him? She's going to give him sex just to get the attention. She doesn't need the sex. She needs the attention, and the sex is the only way to get it. So making your daughter feel loved by you and feel appreciated by you and accepted by you and giving your daughter time is keeping her virginity safe. It's not just protecting her heart, but it's protecting her virginity. That's what it does. That's how important a father's love is. It could change that child's life. All right. The next one, admiration and appreciation. Now everybody says, but everybody wants to be appreciated. I know that. But this appreciation is just not plain appreciation. It's just thank you for washing the dishes. It is the admiration part that's part of it. All right. Men like to hear. They want to know that they are okay. They want to know that they're doing good. They know what it makes them feel important. And it boosts them to do even more. All right. So it's not just thanks for mowing the lawn. So, wow, lovey, man, you mowed the lawn beautifully. What is it? Lines that you cut there? Wow, look at, make something big out of it, out of a small thing. They just love it. Wow, lovey, you're looking good today. Man, hey, I can see. Say thank you, but make a big deal of it. It makes them feel loved. All right. Next picture. There is nothing wrong to have a deep desire to be respected, valued, and appreciated. Everybody wants that. Even God loves that. God loves it when people sing to Him. He loves it. So if He loves it and you love it, there's nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with you wanting your wife to compliment you. Man, I love compliments. I'm not going to ask for them, but oh man, it makes my knees melt. All right. And that's, again, difference between men and women. Women doesn't bother. They don't mind. You don't have to. They like it when you tell them, hey, love you, looking beautiful today. But men really, really loves it. Let's look at one scripture again. Ephesians 5:33. However, each man among you is to love his wife. Again, the wife needs the love. And if you go down on that same scripture, you'll see it says to the woman, treasure him, honor him, and hold him dear. Now that honoring him isn't like, oh, a good, big, almighty. It's not that honoring. It's just honoring what he did. It's just really appreciating what he did. He just loves it. All right. So the good news is the next slides. It is the easiest need to meet. It is absolutely the easiest one. There's nothing easier than this. It's just a compliment and presto. As easy as that. Your husband loves compliments. Right. But then there's always a but. It's the easiest one. The but is the next slide. Is don't criticize or insult him. Every time you criticize him, you're breaking him down. You're telling him you are not worth it. You're not, I don't love you. That's what you're telling him. I don't love you. Every time you criticize him. Every time you insult him. Then the next thing is, don't correct him in front of people. Is that really important about who's right and what's right when he's telling somebody something to somebody? You know, last week Friday, no love, it wasn't Friday, it was Wednesday. Who cares if it was Friday or Wednesday? Just leave it. If it's really that important, wait until you're back at home or alone and tell him, Lovey, you said Friday, but it actually was Wednesday. But who cares anyway? Don't correct him in front of people. If he is telling the story wrong, leave him. What does it matter? Let him tell the story wrong. Or the other way around. Your wife, if your wife is telling something you know now, she's mixing the story up and telling these people the wrong story, whatever. What would have happened if you weren't there? Who cares? Doesn't matter. All right. Good. Then the next one, financial support. Guess again, woman. All right. Nothing wrong with that. You're not a gold digger. There's nothing wrong with you if you want a man with money. There's nothing. Why? It gives you security. It makes you feel safe. It's natural. It's nothing weird about it. All right. It was instruction given to Adam and Eve. Number 1, multiply. Be fruitful. The question is how fruitful? Enough to survive, at least. All right. The least you must do in this life is self-preservation. I mean, that is the least you can do in this life, is self-preservation. Looking after yourself. Why? Because if you're not going to do it, somebody else has to do it. All right. To produce at least enough to take care of yourself to survive. Otherwise, it's somebody else's job. That's the very first thing that God told Adam. That's the very first thing we should do in this life, is to look after ourselves. All right. Lack of money is never the problem. Guy said, I have no money. I said, well, that's not a problem. See, you thought that's a problem. No, that's not a problem. You don't have money, that's not a problem. The real problem is the lack of ideas. Ideas brings money. So you don't have enough ideas. Not enough money, not enough ideas. Okay. It's not what happens to us, that is what we do that matters. All right. Take ownership. Whatever you want to be in this life, I've said it already, you can be. All right. Now, look at these two. The next slide. The beggar and the richer guy. Women, they look for the partner who is stable in life. And now those two, obviously the one on the left looks much more stable than the one on the right-hand side. The one on the right-hand side can't look even after he's a beggar. He needs other people to look after him. All right. Woman's not going to choose the one on the right. It's just natural. The next slide, we said, oh, that's a gold digger. You know what? The truth is that he is getting what he wants. Remember, men just loves competition and they want to stand out. And most of the time, their wife is like, it's something that they want to show off. It's something that they want to say, look at me, look at my wife, check the wife I've got. So and obviously like a man falls in love with his eyes, his visual. So, and then, like I said, it's like I don't mean this in a bad way, but you like a prize to him. It's like something that's, wow, check what I've got. All right, it's like showing off. All right, so he's getting what he wants, and what she's getting, the financial support that she wants. She's going to be safe. She's not going to sleep hungry tonight, that's for sure. So what's happening there? Why does this happen? Why does this old man get married to this young, beautiful woman? Why? Because both are meeting each other's needs. That's it. All right, later on, they're going to see they have more needs. And the way they treat each other and respect each other and handle each other is going to make a huge difference. And that's what normally just buggers up the whole thing. All right. Good. The next picture. Hold it right there. If you say, I don't marry my husband for money, just think about it. If I ask any woman the following question. If your fiancé, the man you are about to marry, tell you, listen, Yani, the moment we get married, I'm not going to give any financial support. I'm not going to be any support financially to our household. It's going to stop. Are you still going to marry him? I don't think so. I don't think so. You don't want to take care of him. You don't want to look after him. You want him to look after you. All right. So, the truth is, a woman does marry a man for his money. She wants him to earn at least enough to support herself. Okay. Then, very important, nobody plans to be poor. It happens to people that don't have a plan. You need to plan together. It's not a one-man show. You need to plan together. Okay. Okay, the next one, physical attractiveness. So I decided to play it safe and rather put a guy there than a girl in a bikini. All right, so yeah, that guy's she's got a little bit of a shorter drill, but yeah. Anyway, okay, woman, if that looks good to you, imagine how your husband feels when he looks at a woman that looks good. All right. So just as I said, women, they say I don't get married for money. Well, the truth is you do. Well, men would say, I'm not getting married for a nice body. In fact, you do. Because you fall in love with your eyes. The next slide. If you were physical attractive when you started dating you, it's most probably important to him. All right. If you look good when he met you, you know what? Look after yourself. It meant something to him. It was important to him. So look after yourself. The next one. Some people feel that this need is only temporary and important only in the beginning of a relationship. Some feel that physical attractiveness usually takes a backseat to deeper and more intimate needs. Now, this is the words of Willard F. Harley. And he said, after 40 years of counseling, he wrote a book, and the information, a lot of this information comes out of this book. All right. It's called His Needs, Her Needs. Excellent book to read. Like I said, if you want a better relationship, get information, get knowledge about relationships. I still read books and stuff about relationships. Although I've been helping people for at least 10 years, I never stop increasing my knowledge. All right, this is an excellent book. So he said, after 40 years of counseling, Willard F. Harley saw that this has not been like that in his experience. So it is not taking the back seat. It stays important to your partner. Listen, it's not what he wants. He needs it. All right. Obviously, this is the most difficult need to meet because this takes hard work. Looking after yourself ain't easy. It doesn't come naturally. It's hard work. All right. So, Next one, we see married women saw a decline in physical activity. They get married, they stop exercising. While divorced women, physical activity increased. I wonder why. Because they know men are looking at them, and they know men want women to look good. So suddenly they start exercising again once they get divorced. Suddenly, that's important. Why wasn't it important? Why couldn't you have done it when you were married? You try, you lose weight for your day when you get married to look good in your dress. So, number one, you can do it. It's possible. But two, you did it for selfish reason. You wanted to look good. Do it for the right reason. Look good for him. Remember, I need a wife? No, I need to be a wife. Do it for him, not for yourself. All right, next picture. Men are different. There's two, well, it's the same girl, just different sizes, but some men love the left one on the left, some men love the one on the right. All right, so it's to find out what your man loves. And don't feel bad about it. Telling your wife, but it's important to me. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not a bad husband. Oh, this man, can you believe it? No. That's what he needs. The next picture, there's one, same girl, one with makeup, one without makeup. Some people, men just love the makeup. Some men don't like makeup at all. All right, we are different. I don't know, the one with the makeup looks like trouble to me, but anyway. All right, so it is saying, by taking care of your body, you are taking care of him. How do you take care of your husband? Take care of your body. It is important. It's not a want. Remember, it's not a want. It is a need. Good. Now, the next picture, I would just love to pause there for a moment. Really just pause. The key to succeeding in marriage is not finding the right person. That is the lie that's being sold to us on social media, on movies, on a lot of things. How am I going to find the right person? How am I going to find the right wife? How am I going to find the right husband? How am I going to... Listen carefully. The key is succeeding. The key to succeed in marriage is not finding the right person. It is learning to love the one you found. Choose the right person. Don't find the... Choose the right person. See, is this person, is it ticking off your needs? Don't get married to a person that's not going to tick one of your needs. And then, to succeed in marriage, you have to learn to love him or her. You have to learn. It's a learning process. It's not something that just happens naturally. You have to learn to do it. All right. It's about their needs. Now, most people says, but if I do all these things to him or I do all these things to her and they're not going to do it back. First of all, trust God. God said what you sow, you will reap. What you give, you will receive. But anyway, if for instance, they don't do it. If you are the only one that's giving love and not receiving love back. Listen to Matthew 5 verse 46. Matthew 5. Oh, it says, if you love those who love you, what reward will you get? If you love only the ones who love you. If your love is conditional. Or not even the tax collector doing that. The next picture. This is how you protect your marriage. How? Next picture. It says in Proverbs, it says, a person who is full refuses honey, but even bitter food tastes sweet to the hungry. I'm asking you, or your wife or husband walking out of that door in the house in the morning hungry? I'm not talking about food. I'm talking about emotionally. Did he have enough sex? Did she have enough conversation? Did she have enough affection? Or are they walking out hungry? Because if they full, it says, they will refuse honey. If you look after yourself and you look good, and there's other ladies coming with a body, says, sorry girl, I've got my wife at home. You are giving your wife enough conversation, intimate conversation. Other guys trying to chat her up, sorry guy, I've got my husband. He gives me much more than enough attention. That's how you protect your marriage. Then I want to end off with love. Like I said previously, love is a verb. Without an action, it's merely a word. Without affection, I love you are empty. Without sex, I love you on. We can go on with this list. All these needs. Like I said, without action, love, I love you are empty. Love is nothing without action. Love is nothing without fulfilling those needs. Affection, sex, conversation, companionship, honesty, support. You can, the ones I just named. All right. Now, very interesting. In Proverbs again, an open rebuke is better than hidden love. Don't be the person where your husband or wife says, you know, I don't even know if you love me. They should know that. And the only way is looking after their needs. All right. Like I said, you are here for service. Now, the next one, we're going to talk about communication. We're going to talk about how to share emotions without a fight. All right. It's all about their needs, we said. So, how do we share emotions without a fight? Normally, if we try to communicate, it ends up in a fight, and then we decide to, well, you know, it's better just say nothing. So I'm not going to say anything. I want to avoid the fight. And what we're doing, we're sweeping it under the rug. And one day we fall over that rug and it's just blood everywhere. So yeah, that's what we're going to talk on the next session.